All right. Let's see. I decided to go ahead and record this as well for another tips and tricks. This is Giant Pathing 101. Basically, I'm trying different shredders at different widths to see what these giants will do to path through it. It seems like even this path, as long as they proceed a path somewhere, they'll go to. They won't start smashing, right? This is still a little too thick, and this is with a good amount of distance. So at my base, all right, he won't come through here. At my base, I have a lot of this going on, where my shredders are fairly close together. This is actually pretty far apart, and they still will not path. He gets through it through this one. If I walk over here, he's gonna. This is like normal snap spacing. It's still just a tad bit. See, now he gets through. Oops. I'll go ahead and switch over to my headphones so you don't get that as a double. But yeah, he won't, as long as it's a wide enough path. These two are too narrow. These two are wide enough. I'm trying to lock down that. I think it's a little bit narrower than what I have here, but a little bit wider than that. What did I get? The other giant I killed. Hey, stop hitting me. You can't really hit me or hurt me. Not with my evade at 100%. He can affect me with the chemical. And just to show you the difference, if I turn on invincible, the chemical goes away. You can't even affect me with that. You're completely immune to everything with invincible on, God mode on. So when I turn that off, then I can be affected, and then my invincibility chances go off and whatnot. So I can get to be affected by the chemical attack. It doesn't do hardly any damage, and any damage that gets done, it does do a little bit. I mean, the actual chemical is doing a small dot. You can actually look in the bottom left, and you see my hit points going down just ever so slightly. It's 147 out of 150. But the actual hits, nothing. You can't hit me. So, and my natural regen right now, because I have hit points regenerated per second, yep, 0.3, it's basically healing most of it back without even the leech. My chemical resistance is at 50% chemical gas. That also takes into effect your protection resistance, your damage taken. So these two work together. I'm not sure which gets applied first, which gets applied second, but they are not. It doesn't make 100%, obviously. It's a multiplicative setup between the two, but it reduces the damage greatly. Most of the elemental stuff, as long as you have it. Now, if I had 100% chemical resistance, which having a gas mask would do, for example, or if I take one of these detox pads, right, take that, and then that gives me chemical gas resistance 100% for 1 hour, at which point I will not get hit by this chemical attacks. And then now he can't do any damage to me, because he only has 2 attacks. A physical attack, which gets evaded. That explosive attack, which is 100% resistant. And the chemical. Doesn't matter. When the other way to get, like I said, 100% kind of defense is to have, is just to dodge. When you dodge, right, you take no damage, you have invulnerability frames. If you get, I think I've said misstated earlier, it's in Nora's diary. It's Nora's pendant. It's her necklace. It goes in the accessory slot, if I believe. No, it's a pauldron slot. The pendant gives you rapid rush. As I said before, when you dash forward, you or any direction, you do damage as part of your dash. It takes your weapon damage into calculation. This is why it's great to get the highest hitting weapon in the game for that, which would be the grenade launcher. So if you have the grenade launcher in hand, that's the hardest hitting weapon. Every time you dash, you do the base damage of the grenade launcher. And then if you stack your wound damage, explosive damage, and everything up really, really high, you're just going to basically one-shot almost everything in the game. And while you're dodging, you are invulnerable to being taking damage of any sort. The only problem is dodging takes stamina, so you can't keep it going. Now, there is a way around that. The Gregory armor set in this game has dodge stamina reduction as part of its set, as part of its unique. Now, you can get this dodge as a secondary dodge stamina reduction. I don't know if I have anything right now that has it on it. I thought I did. Durability and explosion. Well, that something had it. Whatever. I guess not. It also gives you stamina restore, which if you get the Gregory set and you get all the pieces maxed out, each piece can go up to 10%. That's 10, 20, 30, 40. You can get more dodge stamina reduction. The vitality gives you it at a specific rate. You also get some off of the research tree. In the utility here, this acrobat. So these are dodge stamina reduction. That's 10, 12. So this is 20 right there. And it's like with this, it's 26. Right? So 6, 8, that's 14, 24, sorry. 36, not 26, 36. So you get 36% here for dodge reduction. With the 40%, that takes you to 76. There's a food buff that can get you a little bit more. With a few more itemizations for dodge stamina reduction, if you want to go that route, that's another way to build the character. You can reach 100% dodge stamina reduction, in which case you can just dodge infinitely and you never use any stamina for it. And as long as you're dodging, you can't be hurt. You don't have to worry about your evade chance. You don't have to worry about anything. Now, the problem I have with the dodge thing is sometimes the game is a pain in the butt when it registers commands. There's a little bit of lag spike, a little bit of something hits you in a very weird frame opportunity. You can take damage because you're not considered dodging, and you can die. It's not quite as foolproof as 100% evade, which 100% evade, as you see right here, is very easy to reach. Now, I actually don't, because I have on my character the bad posture. Right? Did I take my pass? Yeah. My dodge and stamina usage has a negative of the opposite. It gives me a 10% dodge stamina attack usage, which kind of sucks, but it's not really that bad. Like I said, you can get them down anyways. If your playthrough that you want to play is based off the dodge mechanic, and you want the Gregory set, and you want the Nora's pendant, very good. Did I tire him out? Whatever. Very good way to actually build your character as well, defensively. My dodge stamina usage right now at negative 44. That is basically the negative 36 from the research tree, and then the points in vitality that I have, and I'm offset by the plus to the trait here for bad posture. This is why I said bad posture is really not a big deal at all. None of these here are a big deal. And when you get to this point, I like I said, I took that eco-friendly. Well, let's look what happens when I get a maxed out mining pick. Right now, if I look over here, my mining pick, I'm now 469, 468. Oh, I don't want to hit you. I want to hit the rock. There, basically one hit. I one tap the rock. Here's an ore node. 1, 2. I 2 tap the ore node. Did I? I guess so. Yeah, 2 tapped it. There we go. It's that simple. 6, Boom. One tap the trees. One tap the tree. Even the bigger one. One tap the tree. You gotta one tap every tree. I could have it do more damage if I put more points in strength. All this other fun stuff. You can get my stats are low. These go up to 99. If I get the Nora's pendant or the polar bear cloak, both add a lot to all stats over the David Artificial Hand. I like the David Artificial Hand just because I like the airstrike damage. It's kind of fun to play with, but is it really the greatest? No, it's not really that great of an item. Like I said, overall, probably the pendant or the polar bear cloak is probably a better one to rush for if you really want to rush for something. I just like it because I was going for a ranged setup, and it helps me out clearing out certain areas easier on my Legend Deathless playthrough. But if I was playing normal, I probably wouldn't care to get it. The gun is great. This little handgun, yeah, you get this, and you get if you can match these two, yeah, it gets absolutely crazy because I don't know if I can get a horde going, but you'll see he won't do anything. Just stay over there, buddy boy. I'll make this another tips and tricks. Where did I put my bike? I guess it really doesn't matter. Not on sandbox mode. You have unlimited fuel, even though the fuel's empty. It doesn't matter as long as you're turn on free driving, free building, free driving. Nothing matters. It's kind of nice. You know, it's built-in cheat system, so you can play around and test things out on your own. If you're wanting to figure out things within the game without having to watch a bunch of these videos, and you just want to test things on your own, this is how you do it. So let's see if I can round up a bunch of zombies, and I can show you what that David's handgun is and why it's in the horde, at least it's probably one of the most powerful guns in the game if you got a good setup with it. So alright, I'm just gonna walk and just start getting zombies. Yep. Oh, come on. You guys didn't give up that early, did you? This is why really move speed means nothing in this game. The zombies can never catch up with you. Even like I got a weapon out and I'm moving ridiculously slow. There's only a few zombies that might catch up with their animation to attack. Most of the time slows them down. What gets you caught is when they swarm from multiple directions and they kind of flank you and entrap you while surrounding you. Come on. I wanted a big horde. What the heck? Zombie got yeeted over there. Oh, hopefully you guys saw that on my screen. I thought that was a bird at first, and I was like, wait, no, that's a zombie flying through there. That was funny. So, do I have enough? Maybe. I was trying to get them all, because what happens is boom, 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 boom. They start chaining corpse explosions. And you get a big enough group. And if you get an airstrike that comes down. Boom, boom, boom. Corpse explosion, lots of explosions going everywhere. I don't have fire resistance max. I don't have poison resistance max, so they still hurt me. But my natural regen and the damage reduction that I have going on, plus the resistance, I have the 50% resistance because I just put it in for the research. Go after, clear all that. So the cool thing about the David's handgun, it's probably the best AoE gun in the game next to the rocket launcher, but that's because it can chain react explode. So I can have a huge wave. I've set this up on hordes on this just to test it and have fun. Brought in a huge horde, shoot up one, blow it, and literally chain reacts through the whole thing, and they all die. It is dumb. because it magnifies the damage over and over and over and over again. Doesn't matter how many zombies are in the horde. Doesn't matter what their hit points are or whatever their defenses are. Once you start getting a couple chain reacting, the whole horde turns to dust. It's that dumb. So, yeah, there's a lot of OP items in this game once you get going. I know people I like the Vital Stinger. Okay, well, that Vital Stinger let me go equip the Vital Stinger. Okay, cool, right? I got the Vital Stinger. It's nice. It does a little bit of damage. It's hard to hit headshots. Well, this is cool because the missile strike just killed them all. But if I didn't have that, I can't take that off because it has my evasion. Puts me at 100. Dang it. Well, this is we'll just go ahead and do that. 0. Now I can get hit because I'm not at 100%. Not likely going to, but I'm going to go ahead and put on invincibility chance. So now I won't drop down the missile strikes. 1, 2, and yes, I can get crit. Oh, that's because this thing's on high damage right now. It's killing these little wimpies. That's fine. Yep, here's a tentacle burst. It has a decent amount of hit points. Go ahead and yoink me. Whee! I wanted to do that. I'm trying not to do headshots. You still take many hits. You're just relying on execution chance. It really isn't all that powerful. It's just kind of a waste of time. It's great early game. It does okay mid game. It falls off late game. It just... Yeah, I got an execution chance. It's a 1 in 20 chance with 5% for a single zombie. Why would I want that late game when I can... Let me go to a Berserker Fury. Let me go find some stuff. Another tentacle. And you guys see the difference here in a moment. Now, oh yeah, I can do more damage if I put the Lion's helmet on. It even affects more damage to the Vital Stinger, but it's still... Vital Stinger, you're at most hitting a couple of targets. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to keep it the same. So let me go to Berserker Fury. Oh, wow, that one's already dead. That's dead. If I have all these lined up in a horde, it's dead. It's dead. Put that on and they're all going to die really quickly. Gotta get headshots though. I find it's easier to get headshots with the Berserker Fury. You just aim up. Unless they're on the ground like that. It's going to be a one-tap every time. The Vital Stinger isn't a one-tap every time. Do this so I can go between the two. Not a one-tap. Even on that same zombie. Berserker Fury just does more damage. So as a melee weapon, does pretty much the most damage in the game. If I set myself up like with a soldier for range damage, then the best weapons in the game are going to be... Hey, throw a grenade there. Whee! One tap. That's a heavy. Tier 2 heavy. One tap headshot. Can't do that with a Vital Stinger unless I get the execution off. I can do this. And there we go. 2 tap because I didn't get a crit. If I get a crit headshot, it's a 1 tap to those guys. Come on. Stop moving your head over there. It's just quicker, and I can hit more enemies at once with this guy. The only problem is, like you saw, it bounces off itself in narrow corridors. Now, one of the fun things is this doesn't bounce the plasma sword, which is kind of it does and it doesn't. If your hand hits it, the hilt does. It bounces like that, but the blade cuts through. It just clips through. So if you had the two-handed plasma sword, it's a bit more useful or nicer in a more enclosed area than other two-handed weapons because of that ability to continue swinging through. This goes for the one-handed version. That's the only thing they really got going on with them. See what I'm saying? You can still cut through, but if your hand hits it, it will bounce off. Your one-handed sword is really hard for it to make it bounce off, even with the plasma sword. And this is comparing to, like I said, if I come and smack this wall, it still, see, I hit the hit with my hand. If I don't hit it with the hand, it keeps cutting through. Switch over to Vital Stinger. It does that no matter what I do. So that's the reason I have the plasma swords. It's because they pass through objects. The plasma part does without getting bounced off. There we go. That's a tier 1. So I can headshot tier 1 with the Vital Stingers. But that's about it. Tier 1 lights, headshot dies. It's really hard to do. There we go. I don't know. Can I still use it? Yeah. You can use this all throughout the game. I just think there's better weapons out there. Boom. One tap. Or even better. Boom. One tap. Corpse explosion. Blow up a whole group of them. No matter how many there are. That's how dumb this gun is. Throw in this guy, and if you get, where's that guy? The artificial hand, and if you get a 15%er with a high damage, and you get a big horde, each of those corpse explosions can trigger chain more missiles. You fire one, and I've seen it before where I had like 500-600 zombies right here in my face. I shoot one, and it just drops missile, corpse explosion everywhere, and you just watch it. You shoot once and get, a good headshot off, and then everything dies. And it's just fun to watch. You can't do that with a Vital Stinger. Sorry. Or any melee. This is why this build, in my opinion, I set up, is probably one of the strongest builds in the game. For harder difficulties. So, there you guys have it. If you're looking to set your character up for the best way possible, couple of ways to go about it. If you're looking for the best defense, the easiest, best defense, in my opinion, Victor set. Max it out. Try and get invade chance on a couple other items. If you bring in on the quick movements to get the bonus evasion rate, right? That gives you 10%. You end up with the research tree under utility to the boxer, 5, 10, 20, 30% there. That gives you 40% with the quick movements. The 2 food buffs, which are going to be the fast food set, which includes the sandwich. That has 10% evasion. That has 10% evasion. You can stack these 2 together, and that gives you 20% evasion right there. So if you just get the trait, the research, and the food buffs by themselves, right? You're sitting at 60% evasion. All you need is the other 40. The Victor's set, 7.5, 7.5. That's 15 right there. 3 and 3. That's basically another 7 total. So you got 37 from the Victor. You're almost there. Literally, Victor set maxed out is 37% roughly. Food buffs plus research tree plus the trait is 60%. So you're at 97% just from that. You just got to pick up a few extra evade from somewhere else. Not that hard to do. Now, my thing is I like having the mutant lion head. The damage it puts out, or makes your weapons put out, is so much greater. That's why I don't have it equipped. So you lose that 7.5% evasion built into the Victor set as part of the armor. Instead, you're getting 7.5% damage, which is still very nice. The protection's meaningless. Is why I don't even worry about protection in this game, because you can't get 100% damage reduction. The game won't let you. It has a logarithmic curve calculation. If I look at my character right now, my protection rating is 250, and that's roughly to get to 71%, or what you see right here. About 200 gives you about 65. 250 is 71. I've taken it all the way up with iron armor and seeing how hard I can get, how high you can get protection. I've gotten it around 900 before, but you're still sitting at like 88 damage reduction, right? You're never going to get 100%, and it's just not going to happen. You can't do that, but you can get 100% evasion rate, and once you get 100% evasion rate, you can't be touched. Or the other way to do it is to have infinite dodges, which the Gregory set can do for you if you want to go with all the dodge reduction. And in that case, if you're going to do that route, don't take the bad posture, take the good posture. You don't have to, but it gets you there faster. The reason it's not a big of a deal, evasion rate you can't get except for what I mentioned earlier, either through items, through food buffs, through research tree, or through this trait. It's the only way to get evasion. However, you can get dodge stamina usage reduction from vitality. So if you max out the vitality at 99, I think you get like 50%. I think it's 0.5% per point, roughly. Maybe a little less. You get a ton from there. So you can get a food buff, you can get items, you can get a research tree for that. Getting the dodge down is not that hard. So it's easier to do. Even with this set, I could probably get close to it. But like I said before, the dodge mechanic, you have to be actively dodging. And in between your dodges, there's a chance, especially if the game lags or whatever, it doesn't count your dodge, you get hit, or you're just not paying attention. You know, you don't realize that something's coming up behind you or is aggro behind you and shoots you or something like that. And you don't dodge. Well, you can still die. I've had that happen with this missile coming down. I see the laser beam, but I'm stuck in an animation shooting or do something else. I'm trying to dodge, but it doesn't register the dodge button. And boop, I've died. It is what it is. It sucks. So if you're trying to do a deathless or non-dying setup, the evasion rate 100% is the easiest way to go about it, in my opinion. And the dodge rate is the second way to do it. Those are the ways to do it. And then you can get your resistances up in several different ways to reach 100% on all those. The Neuralinks, so these are all off of the cell. You have to buy these neural chips. They're 1,000 gold each, basically. These all take one neural chip. So you got 6 plus 3, it's 9. Yeah. I mean, this is probably, once you've gotten your evade up, this is the least useful one to a certain degree, but this will get you up to 50% for all the different types of elemental damage in the game. You can either stack gear after that, or that's the easiest way to stack gear. So Norris Pendant gives you elemental resistances. The white polar bear cloak also gives you elemental resistances. The Paladin's Bible's weapon, I can't remember what it is, that also gets you elemental resistances. So all those can add to elemental resistances and get you up. Of course, the desert set adds the fire resistances. You can also get food buffs to add to different resistances as well. This David's artificial hand is explosion resistance. This guy's boots has explosion resistance. I don't know why it does. As I said, right now my explosion is at... if I take this off and this off, it'll be at 50% because of the defense explosion resistance, because I have 50% from all the Neuralinks, but if I put the boots on, I'm going to get 70%. It's this weird built-in thing. I pointed this out before. So explosion resistance... Oh. Wait. It's supposed to go. I've seen it go up before. Did I do it wrong? Or is it the helmet? Hat? Or is it the full set? Yeah, here it is. So it's the full set. I don't know why. Yep. Once you have a full set, a Victor gear, you get an additional 20%. If I switch over to this, I thought it was just the boots, but I guess I was wrong. I even learned something. The full set, it gives you a hidden stat. But once you get the artificial hand and you got at least this, that's 85. You get the Neuralink, that's also another 50. You're good to go. That's one way to get up there. So that's my second tips and tricks video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As I explain ways to get your build up even better, and demonstrated that, as well as the Giants pathing and what I was working on and how to set this up in the sandbox. I am probably going to figure out a path I'm going to want to figure out based off of testing here to make sure that zombies path through and still get hit, and Giants path through and still get hit as well. Obviously, by having, you can't have the path too narrow, the Giants won't go through at all. So that's a pain in the butt to have to deal with. But if you have it too wide, the zombies, they don't necessarily get stuck on the shredders. They'll run right down the middle, no problems. But there's ways to move them over to one side. The Giants will step on the barb fences. So that's one of the things I want to verify. So if I get on this bike again. I head back over to where that giant was. This ended up being a little bit longer of a video than I expected. Oh, there we go. So, I'm going to go ahead and build these barbed fences. I know he passed through these, but if I remember right, he should walk over these. Are you going to walk over them? Hello? I know you can fit through there. He's just being disgruntled. Okay. Maybe not. Will they do it if I get rid of... I think it's just because of those were the way they were. Okay. Now he's going through. See, he steps over it. I think he does it as long as they're staggered. Well, these are still too narrow. That one's wide enough. That one down there was wide enough. So what I'm trying to say is you can use I believe a row of these on one side of these, even though they're wide enough, and it kind of forces them into it and sticks them while still making it narrow enough, right, for the normal zombies to get stuck hitting two things. Does it make sense? So he should want to come through now. Yeah, he'll climb over it. Now he gets hit by both of them. Of course, you can use this to your advantage, but the problem is, when it's narrow like this, they block the rest of the zombies, too. Now, you can use this to your advantage as well. The other thing you can do is use treadmills to force them to one side or the other. So if I was to do a floor trap, treadmill trap, just stick it down. If I didn't want to do the bar, but I could use the treadmills. Get roughly the same effect. Come on, buddy. Of having the giants at least shoved. Into one side. Problem with the giants is they get shoved over those things too. And he dies. Pretty easily. So, there you have it. I get a decent chance to drop uniques as well. So I do sometimes farm them. So these are different ways to handle the giants. I believe I can stack these traps on top of each other, which would be shredders. Can I put them on top of each other? Not without doing a column, if I remember right. Yeah, so you can't do it directly, but if I did a column... Columns allow you to get around all sorts of silly things. I saw it go blue there for a second. Oh, I went blue there for a second again. What am I doing wrong? Go off to the side a little bit more. I need my column a bit more spaced away. I'm getting it now, lined up in the spot-ish that I want it, but not quite. It's a little bit offset. See it? Oh, that's to the right. Okay. This is why being in sandbox mode is nice. You can play around, figure out how to get things stacked up without wasting materials on your own. Just a little bit. Okay. I'm trying to, do I have snapping on? Yes, I did. Let me turn that off. Might have to do with the beam as well. Let's see. Column, beam. I'm gonna play with it a little bit more. I saw it close to it, but yeah, this is how you do it. Just play around with it, figure out how to get things to stack. It's a little off, which is, I guess, not too big of a deal, but it is and it isn't. So this way, if you stack two shredders like this, then the giants just don't end up getting pushed over with the treadmills. And then, but it's not a big deal if they are, because then they sit on top of the shredders. I don't know. There's different ways to play with this. So I'm going to go back to screwing around with this, figuring out where I want this placement still, and then I'll go back to my other playthrough and change my base around accordingly. So see you guys in the next video. Bye.